second edition of Feeding Our Faith. My name is Father Jeff Perot, and what you see in front of us now is going to be the dish that we're making for our first installment of the second edition of Feeding Our Faith. And today we are going to cook a dish called cider braised chicken. Now this is an easy one to make, to be able to make ahead a little bit and be able to have it later on. It's because it's going to be made in a slow cooker. Now the first thing we do is we take some chicken breasts which have the bones in and the skin on, and we take a little bit of flour, a little bit of a little bit of salt and pepper, and we want to dredge the chicken in this. And once we've dredged the chicken in this, we're going to go ahead and put it in a pan of hot oil because we want to brown it and sear it on all sides. Now you may need to cook these just one or two at a time because you don't want to crowd the pan. It depends upon how big your pan is, but we'll go ahead and put this other one in here. We can fit two in there pretty easily. And the other one will wait for just a little bit. And we stick these into our crock pot. And next what we want to do is we want to take our garlic, our rosemary, and our bay leaves, as well as our carrots and our onions, and kind of stick these in between the pieces of chicken. So we'll start with the carrots and onions first, and Veronica's helping me with that. Looking good, looking good. And we'll do some onions. There we go. Okay, that's good. Now what we will do is we'll take our garlic, stick our garlic in. We'll take a couple of sprigs of fresh rosemary and three bay leaves. We will put those here on the top. The next thing we will do is we will add the parsley, the golden raisins, and we will add some cabbage to the top of this. Now we're getting really full here, but don't worry. Again, this is going to cook down. I mean, it looks like a lot, and it is a lot, but it will cook down and become very delicious. The raisins add a little bit of sweetness to it, which is nice. And here we go with some parsley. Now the final step is, let's see, we've set the crock pot to low. We're going to add 2 cups of chicken stock, and we're going to add 1 cup of hard cider. Now we will stick that, we'll cover that on low and put it on low, and we will keep it on low until it is done. You'll know it's done because you can take a fork in there and kind of scrape at the chicken, and the chicken will just begin to fall off the bone. So after you've cooked it for 6 to 8 hours on low, it will come out a little bit like this, and you want to cook it for 6 to 8 hours because it takes a little while to cook, and so it's a good thing to maybe start in the morning as you're heading off to school or work, and then it'll be ready for you once you come home. And once you bring it out, you'll have all the carrots and onions and cabbage and all this good stuff in the plate right here.
Looks delicious.
Yeah. So on this next Feeding Our Faith, we will actually be talking about the canon of Scripture. Now,
I have a question, Father Jeff.
Sure.
Okay, so why is it that my Protestant friends and I have different Bibles?
Okay. Well, first off, I'm glad you have a Bible. That's a good thing. Second is that, well, the thing is that there's been some disagreement over the years as to what books should be in the Bible. Now, the Catholic Church, when we looked at all the books of the Bible, and there were some ones which obviously shouldn't be a part of it because you had some weird, wacky books where Jesus is going around killing people, which we know he didn't do that.
That's terrible. It's
really bad. And then, so you have a few of those things, and so as they were sorting through the authorship, they realized that there were some books that belonged in the Bible and some that did not. So many, many years ago, the Church Council came together and decided which books should be in it, and that was called the canon of Scripture. Now, with time, when we reached about the 1500s, there was some disagreement about some of the books, and some of our non-Catholic brothers and sisters, some of their forefathers looked at the books of the Bible, they took out some of the books that they thought were kind of problematic. And so that's why their Bible has fewer books than ours does. But we will get actually a lot more into that at Feeding Our Faith, so we hope that we will see you at Feeding Our Faith, the potluck coming up this coming Sunday. It'll be our first one of the second series, so we'll be looking forward to seeing you there. And with that,
I'm ready to dig in.
I think so too.
Okay.